Rent to rent is an amazing way of you getting all the benefits of owning an investment property without having a massive amount of money to invest into it. But how exactly does it work? The first thing you need to understand is that not everybody wants to be a landlord, or not everybody wants to be a professional landlord that sleeps and breathes and eats property. In fact, there is a massive part of the market that own a property and they don't really want to, or they don't want the headache, or they don't want the tenants, or they haven't got the time. And it's those people there that make rent to rent such an amazing strategy, because it's very hard to exit and sell a property or decide what you want to do, or get it ready for the best price. So a lot of people just sit on properties because they've got busy lifestyles and they're not around, and they don't maximize the income, or some of them just leave them empty. So those are the landlords that you want to focus on in rent to rent. And how it works is simple. You find somebody, one of those people that doesn't want anything to do with the property, and you essentially offer to babysit their property for a few years, maybe longer, and guarantee their rent. You babysit their mortgage and some profit in most instances, and then you take control of that property. All right. Now, normally the way that works is if you're paying them a market rent of say £1,000, and that's what a family would pay, then you won't be able to rent it to another whole family because you're not going to make any money. Although, disclaimer, you could in theory rent property for £1,000, put it back on the market for 1,200 and rent it to a family. But the issue you'd have is if the family stayed for a year, okay, and then you had a void for 1 month, you would then wipe out all your profit from the previous year because you've only got 200 a month. And if the guaranteed rent's 1,000, you'd wipe it out. So usually once you've acquired this property, that's when you then rent it on a nightly basis as serviced accommodation so that you can generate significantly more, or you split it into individual rooms. And once again, that's where you add the value. So it's that simple. Find a landlord that doesn't want an active role in the property, guarantee their rent and control the property for 3-5 years, and then find a way to maximize the income. 3 simple steps. Now, you're probably thinking, that sounds too good to be true. Well, look, it is good, but it is true, but it's not always simple. You will need to become compliant. You will need to have the correct agreements. You will need to know what you're doing when you acquire this property so that you're doing it safely. But if you do this right, you could be earning over £1,000 a month every single month from a property that you don't even own. So if you like the idea of that, you are in the right place. Subscribe to the channel, absorb all the content. Check me out on Instagram @Simon Smith Online, and let's see if we can get you some rent to rent deals.